Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler 2 with me, Myrtle 37. So we're back in the Stationair, and I had Caitlin fly that thing around because it holds more cargo, so I had her flying it around, and she's now back at the base in Huntington, KHTS. And in this flight, I figured we'd go back down to Myrtle Beach. I don't think they had anything to anywhere else that paid that great. Except there's one that went way up to Canada, CYCE, but if you go all the way up there, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and if they don't have another job coming back or something, you're kind of screwed. So I figured we'd go on back to one of our bases. It actually pays pretty good. I kind of dislike how they did this. Not geez, that's why, because you can't necessarily click on it. Get that base. Come on. Jeez. Alright, well, here it is. It actually shows up from this one. It's Huntington to Myrtle Beach. 802 pounds of musical instruments. You can see it's about 332 nautical miles. I've already got her loaded up as well. So if you look at the wind, it actually didn't show any wind here. It usually does right at Huntington. But so we'll use the tower and just get permission from there, I guess. Or we can just use 8. I might... Just see this real quick. Search for that. We'll just look at the wind and either take off on 12 or 30. Coming down here, we're going to land, as you can see the wind coming up from the south off the coast. So we're going to land on runway 18. That's a heading of 177 degrees. It's basically at sea level. So it's right there on the ocean. Let's see. ATIS is 123.925, ILS frequency 109.50, and so I believe, so we're within 30 degrees here of the runway heading, so I guess we can come straight in. I can't remember if it's 15 on each side or if it's 30 on each side, but we'll come straight in. Let me check this. I think, like I said, I've already got this loaded up. Just make sure. Actually, we can do it this way. Go here to our job, fly now. Flyer Stationair. And look at that. There's like stuff here at Huntington. I know we have the battery pack, and I think aircraft parts we screwed up before, but like just maybe we made clothes. That must be why it was, because I saw all 4 of them. I was like, what in the hell? But yeah, aircraft parts. I still can't remember exactly what happened with that, but we still got them. All right, so it's through what, 338 miles, I believe it was. 332. So I put in enough to make us go 501 nautical miles. It seemed like we didn't have much fuel to spare on the last one, so I made sure and put in a bunch more. Hopefully that's enough. It's 170 more, so that's what, 50% more or so. And because you got to keep the power up, because this thing just did not have any cruise speed. It was really odd, so I don't know. So I'm gonna have to use a little more power. Need to check that out. Alright, so VFR, I don't know, we're going to the south. What was the heading? I've closed down Flight Sim Commander. I believe it was 147, so that would be technically more south than east. So we'll go up to like 6,500. So you can I think that was one of the things. I took it up so high, and it seemed like it was just really, really slow. So we'll just say like 6,500, maybe I'll go up to 8,500, something like that. Because also the mixture was complete opposite. When I enriched it, we used less, and when I brought it down, we used more. It didn't make too much sense to me. I'm gonna put this at. I'm gonna switch that to AM. Actually, I put that back to PM because if that takes it back 5, then we'll be all right. Because it might take a little while to get down to Myrtle Beach because it's kind of far. Last position. I don't want that because we didn't fly it there. Something like that'll work. And let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. Alright everybody, here we are at the plane. I was thinking that we switched this out because I had the G1000. I thought for sure. I'm almost positive we switched this out because I just was looking at this and it's the G1000. I thought we switched that out, by the way. It's kind of odd. By the way, these need to be off. We might just look at everything else. Yeah, I thought for sure we switched over to the gauges. Maybe this thing is wrong. I'm almost positive we did that. Because we lost 50%. How the hell did we end up... That's very odd. Like, we're in the wrong plane. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what happened. I was just looking at that. Yeah, because we lost 50% on it. This is weird. Alright, anyhow. Let's say everything is off. Let's see. I'll go up a little bit. Alright. Ignition and master, avionics master are both off. Master switch, we can go ahead and turn that back on. We obviously can't hear the cooling fan. Avionics master switch is off. Flaps, go ahead and extend them. Static pressure alternate source is off. It's all the way pushed in. Enunciator panel, yeah, we don't have an enunciator panel. Unless I don't know, I don't think that would be called the enunciator panel, so I'm not really sure. Fuel selector valve is in both. Pitot heat, I'm not going to mess with the pitot because it says to test it and turn it on and like check for heat and everything, so we won't mess with that. Master switch can come back off. Alright, so that's all good. We'll say that the circuit breakers are all pushed in. Avionics circuit breakers all pushed in. Electrical equipment is all off. Avionics master switch is off. Cowling flaps open. Let's make sure. I think that's... Alright, so come down here. I was going to make another view, I think. Oh, that's right. You have to scroll the mouse wheel the opposite way. I don't know why. Fuel selector valves on both. Some of those things are like on here too much. Fuel selector valve in both. Like, didn't we just check that? I think we check it again. Throttle open 1/4 of an inch. Let me move my view down here so we can see it. Well, that's a little more than 1/4 of an inch, but that's alright. Prop goes into high RPM. Master switch, we'll go ahead and turn that on. We'll go ahead and turn on the... Well, I'll wait for the standby battery or whatever. Beacon can come on. Come down here so I can see better. There we go. Beacon is on. Mixer is an auto cutoff. Proper area is clear. Auxiliary fuel pump switch. Get my hand out of the way. Fuel pump is on. This is hard to see because we need to look at the fuel flow. I can't remember if we can even see fuel flow on this. The one with the G1000. Yeah, I don't think we can see fuel flow. Move that back to cutoff. Alright, and the fuel pump goes off. Let's go ahead and get her started up. We have to give her fuel. That helps. Alright, everybody, we're about to taxi. I don't know how much we caught of that because I looked over and the thing wasn't recording for a second. So I had to stop that. But now we're all started up. Everything looks good. I guess... Alright, so we'll hit Addons. See which... oh, come on with the sound. Alright, well... I'll have to fix the sound in a second. I don't know why that happens every once in a while. Temperature 13, altimeter 2992. I can actually just hit the button for that. Visual runway 30. Runway 30. So let me fix my sound and I'll be right back. Alright, fix the sound. By the way, let me retract my flaps. I should have guessed that because when I enabled something just a minute ago, it came up with my microphone, my Yeti, Blue Yeti, as the default sound, and it was like, no, I don't use that for my sound. Alright, so let's move our heading to 299. Hate how it speeds up sometimes. You gotta take it slow in between those scrolls. There's 299. Yoke, you're just barely in the way. Taxi light, there we go. And so let's taxi on over. I don't know if I want to... Might want to go all the way on this one. to the end, because I can't remember exactly how quick this thing takes off. It's been a little while since I've flown. I've had so many episodes of different stuff recorded, so I've been trying to get rid of it. Not get rid of it, but, you know, post that stuff. Like FS Economy, I have got tons and tons of episodes. So I'm taking a break from flying. Also, working on getting a job. Going to, like, interviews and stuff like that, so... a little less flying for me. I was out of town. I'm probably going to go back out of town here pretty soon, so I want to do some good flying. So I have stuff again to post. Oh, I'm looking at the traffic over there. There's a lot of traffic out there today. There's usually not much around the Huntington area, but today there is. Could probably take off from right here, to be quite honest. But we'll go on by, go to the end. Because if I remember correctly, this thing doesn't take off the quickest. I'm not sure. I don't think this is actually all that powerful of a plane. I mean, it's 5 seats, but I don't think it's all that powerful, if I remember correctly. I'll show you something here in a second, because I was looking at the plane a little bit ago. It is 5 seats, but man, if you're in the back, I feel sorry for you. Because I was just looking at that seat, and I was like, man, that's got to be like the most uncomfortable place in a plane. That little seat. Come up here. We'll do our run up here in a second. Oh, got to the right of it. It feels like I'm up, but like we're tilted. Like I should be like that and then move it down or something. I don't know. It feels kind of odd. Let's go ahead and put the parking brake on. Alright, so our before takeoff checklist. Brakes are set. Seatbacks, all that, we don't mess with that. Flight controls, free and correct. Everything looks good there. Rudder pedals, everything looks good. Flight instruments, everything looks good. Altimeter set. Transponder, we'll set that. It says put it on the standby, but we can't put it on the standby, so we'll switch it to VFR. It is on. GPS and autopilot. We're not going to set the autopilot yet. We'll do that. Well, I'll go ahead and set the altitude and everything. Set it for 6,500, but we're not going to test it. Oh, come on. There we go, 6,500. So we won't, like I said, we won't verify that it disconnects everything. Fuel quantity. I gotta check her again. It's like you go over this and over this and over this. That's right, you can't bring it up. Should be just less than 30 in each tank. Let me check. Oh, I didn't put down the gallons. It was 58 gallons, wasn't it? So it should be like... yeah, 28 in each, so just under 30, so that is correct. Alright, so let's check this out. Fuel quantity, auxiliary fuel pump is off. Mixture, we'll go to full rich. Cowl flaps are open. As you can see here, fuel selector valve is still in both. Let's throttle this up to 1800 RPM. Alright, that's about as close as we're gonna get it. It's really touchy. Basically at 1900, I know. So let's go ahead and check the mags. Left. I checked out. Right. That checks out as well. Alright, so we are good. Actually, it turned out... alright, so that's good. I knew I was gonna do that. So the magnetos are good. Let's go ahead and cycle the prop. Alright, that's good. Vacuum gauge, see, I don't think the vacuum gauge is on here, if I remember correctly. It's one of the reasons we went to the other thing with the gauges. Oil pressure is in the green, oil temperature is in the green. So let me check one thing. I don't know what this is. I have to look. Alright, ammeter. It looks like everything is good down here. The electrical enunciator panel, we're not going to mess with. I don't even know the enunciator panel here. And 1,000 or less. Wing flaps going out. Alright, so let's go ahead and take off. Landing lights, strobe lights coming on. It's a dip down here, make sure there is nobody coming in. Alright, runway is ours. Get my views set. Alright, let's go ahead and get on out of here. We'll just do a rolling takeoff. Feels like a weird start to this flight. Oh, there's the ground gremlins. I still haven't been able to get rid of those. I thought I had done it, but apparently not. Alright, let's go ahead and get on out of here. Oh, I didn't show you the seat. We'll look at the seat here in a second. Just gonna give her a little extra run here, speed before I pull up. I know you're supposed to rotate a little bit earlier. Was it 65 knots or so? I do like the sound of that engine though. Pull the nose down just a little bit here. She keeps wanting to get up on me. And we're gonna hit 90 knots here. So I'm gonna go ahead and retract the flaps. I trimmed it down a little bit and she really brought the nose down. See, I trimmed it back up and way up. Let's look down here. Actually, I won't mess with the autopilot just yet. I was gonna say go ahead and arm it. We're already in GPS down here. Turning left. By the way, see that? I'd hate to be in the back seat. Wow, that's gotta suck. Not exactly a comfortable ride for that person. And in the back of a small plane, I don't think I'd like it. So let's see what it says. It says airspeed. Well, that's the initial. 95 to 105 knots. Like I said, that's the additional though. Power 25 and 2500 RPM. Alright. The level here, of course, those is gonna pop up. So let's bring our power back. But if you listen to that thing, 25. It just seems like there's not enough power there. Right there, we're right at 25. We're a little off to the left. I don't want to come straight into the line like that. And I got my procedures getting blown off by this fan. It says well, maximum performance climb is 86 to 82 knots. See, it's bringing us way back down on our speed here. 95 to 105 and 25 inches or full, whichever is less. Obviously 25 is 2500 RPM. And then mixture lean to 20 gallons per hour. See, that was one of the things I don't like about this either is on the fuel flow, it doesn't have a gauge, it's got the stupid lines. Alright, so let's check this out. Go ahead and arm that for 6,500 feet. And autopilot is on. There we go. Vertical speed. Bring that down to like 500 just to check this out. Switch that over to nav. I think we went just across the line there. So even at 500 feet a minute, we're still losing a little bit of speed there. It just doesn't quite make sense to me. By the way, we are not following that at all. Don't know why she doesn't want to work. She's in GPS. There now she's gonna work. I don't know why it was already in CDI, or I'd already had it set over there to the GPS. That's kind of odd. Alright, weird flight. Man, I've got to re-switch those views. It's because I think we set it up for the gauges when I redid it. So let's look over here. Distance 377 nautical miles. You can see right there. It says just under 3.5 hours. That's kind of what I figured. Desired track 154. There we go. Move this over to 154. Yeah, our speed is still going down. We're down to almost 89 knots. And we're only climbing at 500 feet a minute. It's not much. We're going to go ahead and give her a little more power. And we can go ahead and lean this thing out. I'm looking at that fuel flow, because I know when we were at cruise, like I said, it was going the opposite way of what it should have been doing. See how it kind of goes up and just comes back a little bit? It doesn't make any sense. And we're 80% and it's still pretty much right in that same area, so I don't quite get that either. That's why I'm saying just go to 6,500 feet. You know, on cruise, it says 75% max. It says throttled 15 to 25 inches, prop 2100, 2500. But I think I modified that last time as well with the power. By the way, someone did point out there is a checklist down here. I don't really like the checklist on the planes like that, though. It's kind of weird for me. But I would like to see something. Maybe we can use that a little bit. So I don't like after you switch to it and everything. I knew that wasn't going to be the right button. I don't even know how to switch through it. I don't like them on the plane like that, on the screen. How the hell do you even move it? I'll just go ahead and exit that. I just don't like them. Alright, 5,100 feet. So we do have a ways. It's still over 3 hours, so I'm going to go ahead and speed on up, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Alright, everybody, slowing it down here at a normal speed. We are very close. By the way, I've been learning a lot of stuff about this plane during this flight. Clicking around on different stuff, and I'm glad I did. I've learned a lot. Go ahead and put that 4-inch on the mixture. Full RP, high RPM, full RPM. There. Yeah, I learned a lot. So hopefully on the next flight we'll just get better and better. Learn a lot about the G1000 and all this stuff. Try to get rid of some of these ground gremlins here. Now I've already moved over to heading mode. Let's go out to the left a little bit more because we're going to come in here on a heading of 177 degrees. So we need to get over to the left, probably a little bit more here. Let's go ahead and put in our ILS frequency. Ah, jeez. I'm going to have to redo my views again. 109.5. So just put 5. Get it right eventually. 109.5. Let's switch that over. And I believe if we click that, yeah, it goes up to the top one. 109.5 for that one as well. And we can hit that over to nav. I don't know how to change the course. Is that over on here, isn't it? Alright, so that is the course there. 177 for the course. Might have to come out to the left some more. By the way. Alright, so you can see that's actually coming down here. Let's go out to the left some more. I can't see below us. I'm afraid we haven't gone out to the left enough. Saw it flash there. Because we need to get more stuff done and that we're actually coming down the glide slope. Yeah, we do need to go a little... we're almost on the glide slope there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Man, views, new views are really gonna help too. 1, 2, 3, 925. Switch that over.
Myrtle Beach Airport information.
There we go.
16210, wind 237 at 10.
Let's check out the barometric pressure here.
20 miles. Sky conditions. No clouds below 20,000. Temperature 260.19.
3010.
Visual. Runway 18 in use. Landing and departing. Runway 18.
Sweet. So 3010. So everything is set. We're about to come up on the glide slope now. Mute my mic for 1 second. Let's go ahead and hit, I was going to say hit localizer, I guess we don't do that. Hit that nav. Go ahead and hit the approach hold. Hit the wrong one. Let's see if that, I don't think we got it. Set that at 2,000. See, it's gonna descend on its own, though. All right. Vertical speed will descend a little bit quicker. As you can see, we are high. Go ahead and pull back on the throttle a little bit more here. Now, but see, it wants to level out at 2,000. That's why I clicked that arm to get that arm off. Not sure if that's going to let me bypass that or not. Ah, stupid thing. I'll have to work on that. Autopilot coming off. I can get that yaw damper off, get everything off. So I'm not sure how to get that to let it bypass what you've got it set for. Let me set my heading here. So you can see we're off, obviously, to the left. Here in a second, we'll get her all set up. There we go. Alright, come on over a little bit, girl. I'm gonna add a little bit of throttle. We're getting slightly low. There, we're on it. Feels like the trim is working a little too good again. Bringing back the power. And some more. Go ahead and put the flaps to 10 degrees. And we want to be around 75 about on the approach. So the speed is coming down nicely. We're going to get a little too low if we go pitching down like that. Almost looks like the scenery isn't in the activated or something. I'm sure I put it in. Activated, I should say. But it doesn't look like it. Got high again. Get myself lined up better. We haven't done a very good job of keeping lined up. Alright, we're at full flaps. Man, those flaps really kick this thing up. So really right at our landing speed, but it feels like now we're coming down a little too quick, but I guess we're not. Feels like we're coming down a little quick there. Says it was a grease set. Man, this thing really... It is activated. Those pappy lights look normal, though. Man, she wanted to... We kept going left in the air, but when she gets on the ground, she wants to go completely to the right. Odd. I have to watch that landing on replay. It didn't seem too bad, though. Yeah, she just kept fighting me to the right. And we'll taxi over here to the right. Although, you know what? I'm going to taxi to the left. The right is a little bit further away. So I'm going to go left. And we should have turned earlier. We can go to the far left. And park over there. I think we parked there once. I don't know what plane it was. I was on the brakes on that turn. Wow. Tipped myself over. Parking brake coming on. Let me get rid of this yoke. Strobes and landing lights can come off. And go ahead and turn off the pitot heat as well. Stop that recording. Alright. Continue on. The brakes are off. And we could go ahead and lean this out. I'm going to put it at 60. Gonna get a little quick here. And like I said, we'll go over here to the left. No planes here. There isn't very many planes here anytime we're here. There are some on occasion. Not a whole lot, though. Oh, now she's fighting to the left. It can't be because of wind. I was going to say let's park over at that building, but maybe we should go to the right of the building. Park like over by the trucks. It's a little different than what I remember. I'm going to stop here because it's going to get really loud as we go over there. It gets really loud. Parking brake coming on. And I believe, yeah, the procedures I do believe show this as well. Alright, so shut down. Throttle goes to idle. I should have put the cowl flaps open as we were taxiing. Should have done that. Electro equipment all goes off, so let's turn everything off. Avionics and master switch is off. That's the only way we can turn it off. Mixture goes to idle cutoff. Ignition switch goes off. Master switch goes off. We can turn off that battery, standby battery. Alright, control lock, crane solid, we'll script that. Cowling flaps are closed, so I forgot. Fuel selector valve goes off. And that's good. Alright, so let's go ahead. Come on, thing. And air hauler 2. Let's go ahead and unload this. A nice little chunk of change. Was it 9 grand minus some fees and stuff? Alright. So we took off at 1:48, landed at 4:27. It was 2 hours 39 minutes. Took off with 344 pounds of fuel, land with 145. Max altitude 6,640 feet. Max pitch negative 12.16. Max roll 27.16. Max speed 144.13 knots. Minimum G's 0.73. Minimum G exceeds 0. Did I just read that right? Max G's 1.21. Max G exceeds 0. I thought it was max then mid. Alright. Anyhow, stall false overspeed false landing description greaser. Gear down true. Land on concrete. No damage to the runway or the plane. Landing speed came down at 64 feet a minute, which is really soft. Landing speed 58.37. Landing pitch negative 6.5. Landing roll 1.12. Landing heading 181.09. Landing wind speed 8. Direction of 228. Finish that. But yeah, I learned a lot by that. I did look at the checklist and found out how to move through that, so that's fine. There's a couple things that I switched here on my printout because, like for instance, on the route climb, this says 25 inches or less. It's actually 30 on the checklist, which makes more sense. It jives more with how we can do it at 2,400 RPM. And there was one other one. I think it was maybe on the cruise. Yeah. Power, this says 15 to 25, it can go 15 to 30, so that makes a lot more sense. TIT, I guess, that is what, turbine inlet temperature, that's instead of an EGT gauge, obviously we have that, and thanks car, Jesus, because I was looking at the, our mixture, and I should have showed it on the plane, daggone it, here, we can actually go to the plane. Let's go over to the plane. Let me full screen this. And I'm going to turn on our avionics, and we'll go over here and look real quick. It was so slow. Because you can get this stuff off. Go engine and system. There we go. And see, that's where our vacuum gauge is. And you can get a better readout of your gallons per hour here on your fuel flow. So that's what we needed. And then eventually I think it goes back out. But I like that because it gives a readout. And so on the fuel flow, like I was saying, it seemed like it was opposite. But actually, it's opposite for a while. But if you keep on going, it starts to go back down. Because I looked at our TIT. I don't know if you can see TIT on this over here. Because see, it was down like this, which is cold. It wasn't in the green. And that's, as obviously as we lean that out, the temperature obviously came up. That's the combustion chamber temperature before it leads to the turbine inlet, I believe. That's how they term that. So I started leaning that out, and it worked pretty well. So, yeah, there's always that to learn from. But hey, you learn more as you fly, and I always have people in the comments helping out and stuff like that, so it's always good. Well, we're down here in Myrtle Beach. Obviously, I don't want to check the jobs right now, but we'll be flying something. What do you think? Maybe 1 or 2 more videos of this plane, and then we'll move on to something else. We've got a bunch of new multi-engine planes, turboprops, so pretty happy. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode, everybody. I hope y'all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.